Giant is the last of the James Dean movies. I think this is one that I think it might have come out like kind of a year to the day of his anniversary of his death. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, I've loved talking about these movies. One thing I really hate about YouTube, and I'll just say this before I get into the movie, is YouTube is very focused on current film discussion when it comes to movie review channels or movie channels. And what really sucks about that is modern movies can be very interesting. I've seen a lot of great films that I've loved discussing. I just uploaded my review for Conclave. Absolutely adored that film, right? Really loved The Apprentice. Very interesting conversations to be had with those movies. Dune 2, Godzilla Minus One. There's so many other films out there I love to discuss, and now I almost feel like I undersold how interesting those films were to discuss. But then it's like you want to talk about older film. It's like, who the hell are you? You don't get any traction. So I love that my second channel's really given me that ability to talk about older films like Rebel Without a Cause, like East of Eden, like Giant, films that I really love. And I hope to continue to do more of that. I think the next video series I'm probably going to do is the Tinkerbell movies, and then maybe we'll go back into some classic films. I have on pre-order the Road to Kino Lorber box set, and I really want to get. And sometimes I put in pre-orders with Amazon, because pro tip with Amazon, if you can't afford something and times get tough and you want to cancel your pre-order, you can do that because they don't charge you until it ships. So I have that pre-ordered, and I will get that box set. I hope money gets tight. I may have to cancel it, but for right now, I think I'm going to get that. And if I get that box set, I probably will do that after the Tinkerbell movies. So Giant's a really interesting film. This is a film that is not like the other James Dean movies. The other James Dean movies were kind of more character-based, emotional dramas. Where this film is more about the scenery and the landscapes, and it's more epic feel. That Texas area. This film's set in Texas. It's a very beautiful looking film for the most part. Now, I will say it's the worst looking of the James Dean movies, despite being the last one, right? So this is not the oldest one. It's, one of the newer ones, like, not by much. It's like a year, it's like a year younger than Rebel Without a Cause, the oldest one, but still, this film released after. But when you watch this film, it's definitely been the worst restored, and so the 4K does upgrade it, but there are definitely sequences where even the film grain and everything just couldn't be restored as well as you would have liked. So I think because of a lot of those things, this film has kind of gone under the radar, especially to those who really love the other James Dean movies. But I think this is still a good one. I don't think it's as good as the other ones, because I think those are just better films. They're really intelligent, well thought out, well acted dramas that have a lot to say. And I think this film has a lot to say, but not to the point where it really sticks with you like the other ones. It's over 3 hours long. It's a very long sit through. It's not as easily accessible as those. Rebel Without a Cause and East of Eden are almost films I could recommend to anybody who's trying to get into classic film. Rebel Without a Cause is a movie I will recommend to anybody. It's a great film. This film, on the other hand, not so much. But it's still a really good movie. It's a really well directed movie. Elizabeth Taylor is probably the highlight of this film, and which is kind of odd. I feel like James Dean's character is a little more sidelined than his previous films, and so his performance isn't able to have that kind of range and impact that his other ones had. But it's still a really good movie if you like that kind of scenery and Texas vibe. I mean, there's movies, despite me not being a big fan of the state of Texas, that can really capture that vibe and that time period and be really interesting. I think this film does a really good job at that. It's kind of interesting. I do like movies that can really capture the vibe of Texas really well, even though I'm not a big Texas person. Like, I really love, one of my favorite movies is Smokey and the Bandit. I don't know why that's one of my favorite movies if I don't like Texas, because it's a very, you know, focused on that kind of style. I don't know. Really good movie though. If you love the James Dean movies and this is the one you haven't seen, check it out. It's really good. Just not one of his best, or one that's gonna stick with you as well as the others.